I would never work in the kitchen. Absolutely not. The Bear is the American comedy series created by Christopher Storer. The series stars Jeremy Allen White, Eben Moss Backrack, and Ayo Edeberry. The show focuses on an award-winning chef, Carmen, who returns to his hometown of Chicago because he inherits his family's beef restaurant that belonged to his now deceased brother, Michael, who committed suicide. He is now left to deal with his brother's debts, a failing establishment in which he tries to make great again, and the loss of his brother. The show is extremely stressful. It shows exactly how things work in a kitchen. Uh, the people oftentimes they scream at each other, they make mistakes, and things go wrong. Sometimes it's not of their making, and other times it's their fault. But they really have to work together in order to make the meals, give good service to their clients. I would never work in a restaurant. I think it would be extremely stressful, and this show proves it. The Bear's success is due to its excellent blend of comedy and drama. The writing here is superb. The jokes, the subtlety of the writing is absolutely exceptional. It's just wonderful writing all around. I think this is probably one of my favorite shows on TV right now. It's not my favorite. I still think I would put The Last of Us first for this, but man, this series is really amazing. It's superbly well written, wonderfully acted by its cast and leads. Just a great show all around. The acting here is, like I said, is top notch. Jeremy Allen White, he plays the main character. He's like the main chef, and he's dealing with the loss of his brother. Of course, it affects him deeply. He tries to bury his emotions, but as the series goes on, he wants to connect more with the people around him, and he goes to support groups in order to deal with his brother's death. And I think his character is really well written. He also has great chemistry with everyone on set. He has great chemistry with his co-stars, with the other chefs. I mean, he's just a terrific actor, and I really am loving him in this role, as well as Ayo Edeberry. I think she's fantastic here as Sydney. She comes in because Carmen takes her on as like a sous chef. She helps managing things because this restaurant clearly needs a lot of help to manage the employees and just the way they do things around the workplace. And together they try to find middle ground. Sometimes it doesn't really work out, but they try to find a system in which everyone can work together. And of course, that can piss some of the workers there off because they've been to work. They've been working at the restaurant for a lot of years, and it's hard for them to accept this new system. But Carmen is such a great chef that he wins people over more quickly than Sydney does. But Sydney eventually wins the other chefs around. She's really good at what she does, even though she makes mistakes. But like everybody does, but when you work in a kitchen, you do make mistakes. I've actually worked in a small kitchen, but I made mistakes. Like everybody makes mistakes in kitchens, but you just have to own up to it and try it better the next day. Carmen also has a cousin called Richie, and Richie isn't always the easiest person to work with or be around. He's very stubborn. He acts very irrationally at times, and he's also like sometimes he's just unlikable. He's just flat out like a dick. and they argue a lot. Carmen oftentimes Carmen liked Michael a lot, and they would oftentimes cook together, and that's how they would bond together. Michael is played in flashbacks by John Berthal, and I like John Berthal as an actor, and I think he's really good here. It's great to see how they the family just behave together with Michael around, because present day, since he died, we don't have a lot of that in context. But with the flashbacks, it helped a lot, putting their relationships in more light. Carmen also learns that his brother and Richie sold drugs behind in the back alley of the restaurant to make money. Of course, Carmen doesn't like it. He tells Richie to stop doing it, but when they need money and they're in desperate need, Carmen agrees to sell drugs like one more time, and then that's it. He doesn't want to do it anymore. My favorite character of the season was Sydney. She feels like the one that she has most of her shit together. I thought the actress did a really good job playing her. She works well with all of the cast members. I really liked her character in the series, and I'm glad that she came back in the season finale, working again with Carmen and the others. The Bear is sometimes at its best when tensions rise to an all-time high. In the second episode, like a health inspector comes to check in for the restaurant. Like it's a surprise visit. Nobody knows that the health inspector is coming, and of course, like the conditions and the workplace, it gets a terrible review. There's like a hole in the floor that they need to cover up. Sydney takes Richie to the store. Of course, he can't really he doesn't like to be critiqued at all, and he of course he blabs on and on in the car, and she just like accepts. At first, she accepts Richie's bullshit, but then after that, she doesn't anymore. And then the health inspector gives them a C, which is, I think it's like the poorest grade a restaurant can have. Oh yeah, and like of course it's so super stressful for them when the health inspector comes. I think that was one of my favorite episodes. And also in the penultimate episode called the review, that's where like things go horribly wrong. Shit hits the fan. Like just before a lunch rush, a mistake happens. Sydney leaves the pre-order button on in their new computer service, and like a lot of people order, and so like the rush is real. It's like they get way more orders than usual, and it's Sydney's fault. And everything goes from bad to worse here. In this episode, people yell at each other. Carmen yells at Sydney. Richie gets super upset. And like, of course, you would be, because like you don't have time to just fill in all of these orders. And when like Richie comes on too strong to her, like she just stabs him. She's waving a knife at him, and it's sort of like an accident. But when you're waving a knife at somebody, of course, like he's eventually gonna get stabbed. Maybe Richie deserved it, maybe he didn't, but she stabs him, and then she immediately quits afterwards. And Mark Carmen actually apologized to Sydney. He texts her and says like, I shouldn't have yelled at you. And of course she returns. I knew she would be like that. That wasn't really a surprise. I knew she was gonna return, but it was nice to see them like reconcile. And then in the last episode, Carmen actually finds money that his brother Michael had left behind, before he passed away. He hid them in spaghetti sauce. So like they all take the spaghetti sauces out of the cans. Like they take out the money, and there must be like a pretty high amount there. And of course everybody's happy. And the store gets closed. The beef is closed for good, and then the bear is gonna be the new name of the restaurant the next season, which is also the name of the series, obviously. But yeah, this series I think is just fantastic. It's super well done, incredibly well written, wonderfully acted. It's just it's very stressful television, and also the food looks terrific every time they prepare meals. We see the plates. It all looks so super delicious. I'm not one for cooking shows per se, but I really enjoyed this one because of the characters and the writing. I think it's like a sitcom, but actually, I think it's more of a dramedy than of a drama than a sitcom. But there's some humor in it, and there's some levity in it. So yeah, if you haven't checked out The Bear yet, please do. It's on Disney Plus right now. It's from FX. It's one of the best shows on TV. It's incredible. It's just superbly well acted. So let me know what you think about The Bear in the comments below. Subscribe. Bye.
25 pounds?
No, I ordered 200.
What is beef?
You still got that meat connect? You get $12.50 for that on eBay.
Boom.
You cut vegetables like a bitch.
Not system. System, baby.
System. This is your brother's house. I was running it fine without you.
Why didn't you leave it to you then? Don't wipe your hands on your apron, chef.
Jeff.
I refer to everybody as chef because it's a sign of respect.
You could throw down, huh? So how you gonna pass the family test? Delicious or impressive?
Delicious is impressive.
Word.
Yo, family's up.
I just never had plátanos with like grass on it.
We want to change this restaurant, right? But we have to change the chemistry.
Why are you always like watching me?
Because it's just sort of my job.
We're the chili flakes. Cousin organizes, it's more confusing. Right there. Labeled chili flakes.
This is a delicate ecosystem, and it's held together by a shared history and love.
I have every intention of turning this into a respectable place of business. Eventually. Time to try the new sandwiches.
Yo, this shit looks different.
What do you think?
It's redundant and white, just like you.